Welcome back, everybody. Ready to dive into the future?
Always.
Well, today we're going way past those ChatGPT headlines and really exploring a future dominated by AI. Like AI running the show, dominating.
Tense.
It is. But luckily we have some guides.
Oh, yep.
Accenture's Technology Vision 2025, CB Insights Game Changers 2025, and Deloitte's Tech Trends 2025. All looking at how AI will revolutionize industries, like completely change the game.
And these are all from 2025?
Yeah, it's pretty recent. And they offer some pretty crazy predictions about how AI is going to reshape things.
Like what?
Well, let's start with Accenture. They have this idea of AI declaring autonomy.
Declaring autonomy?
Yeah, they even call it the cognitive digital brain, which sounds pretty sci-fi if you ask me.
Yeah, that's a pretty bold image. So, what does that even mean?
Well, they're talking about AI operating on different levels. So, on a personal level, imagine having an AI assistant that's basically your superpowered sidekick.
Like a super smart personal assistant.
Even better. It knows your job inside and out, anticipates your needs, even helps you become the most efficient version of yourself.
Wow, sign me up for that. What about on a larger scale?
Well, that's where the cognitive digital brain gets really interesting. Accenture says it can basically act as the central nervous system for an entire company, capturing knowledge, making decisions, even operating independently in some cases.
Operating independently? That's a little...
I know, right?
late.
But that's where their concept of a binary Big Bang comes in. Basically, they say that the rapid development of these foundation models will completely upend our technology, like completely change how it works.
Foundation models.
Think of them as the brains behind AI. They're trained on tons and tons of data to understand language, write code, create images. Basically, they're driving a massive surge in AI's capabilities. So more possibilities, more abstraction, and more autonomy.
So these models are basically the driving force behind this whole binary Big Bang idea.
Exactly. They're like the catalyst for AI to become, more independent. But the cool thing is, this isn't just some futuristic concept. Accenture gives a real-world example. In silico medicine,
What do they do?
they use AI to develop new drugs. And, get this, they've managed to cut down the time it takes to discover new medications significantly.
Wow, that's huge.
Right. It
Yeah.
could revolutionize the pharmaceutical industry. Imagine a future where life-saving treatments are developed in a fraction of the time it takes now.
That would be incredible. But with AI becoming more autonomous, how do we even begin to trust these systems?
That's a really good point. Accenture actually talks about building trust in AI as a key factor in all of this. And they say it's not just about logic and data, it's also about that gut feeling of being comfortable handing over control to these systems.
I see. So we need to trust them on an emotional level, too.
Exactly. They talk about needing to address both the emotional and the cognitive sides of trust, meaning we need to understand how AI is making decisions. It needs to be explainable,
Right. Makes sense. Kind of like knowing why your doctor prescribed a certain medication.
Yeah, exactly. And they also say it needs to be transparent, meaning its processes are open for scrutiny so we can see what's going on under the hood.
So no black boxes. We need to be able to see how the AI is working.
Precisely. And of course, we have to address the elephant in the room bias. We can't have AI systems perpetuating societal biases.
Of course. That would completely defeat the purpose of trying to create a fairer and more efficient world.
Absolutely. But let's move beyond just the software side for a second. Accenture also talks about this really cool concept of generalist robots.
Generalist robots, what are those?
So we're all familiar with those single-task robots we've seen in factories for years. But imagine robots powered by AI that can handle a whole range of jobs. They can adapt to new environments, even learn new skills on the fly.
Wow, that's like having a robotic Swiss Army knife.
Exactly. It's a complete game changer in how companies approach automation.
So how is this even possible?
Well, it's all thanks to those powerful foundation models we talked about earlier. Instead of being programmed for one specific task, these robots are more like adaptable workers,
Right, like employees who can wear multiple hats.
Exactly. And there are three main things driving this shift.
What are they?
First, you have more versatile robot bodies. Then you have AI models specifically designed for robotics, which is sometimes called embodied AI. And finally, more sophisticated ways to train robots and collect the data they need to learn. And get this, research into embodied AI has exploded. It's grown fourfold since 2020.
Wow, that's a massive jump. So what does this mean for businesses?
Well, imagine a company being able to use the same robot for multiple jobs throughout the day, making them even more valuable.
Right. Makes sense. More bang for their buck.
Exactly. And then think about the rise of robotics as a service. This could allow companies to essentially rent robots, try them out for specific tasks without having to make a huge upfront investment.
Oh, I see. So it's like the software as a service model, but for robots. That's smart.
Right. It makes the whole idea of using robots way less risky and opens up a lot more possibilities for companies to experiment.
So more accessible and less risky. That definitely makes it easier for companies to adopt this technology.
For sure. But Accenture doesn't stop there. They take things even further with this idea of agentic systems.
Agentic systems.
Yeah.
That sounds really futuristic.
It is. And it's built on those large language models we discussed earlier. Imagine AI-powered bots that can handle super complex tasks all on their own. Think of it as the next level beyond apps.
So we're talking about a world where AI agents are basically taking care of things in the background, like anticipating our needs and making things happen seamlessly.
Exactly. And this leads to something Accenture calls generative UI, which is where generative AI completely changes how we interact with technology. Imagine interfaces that are personalized and dynamic, adapting to your needs in real time.
It sounds like having a conversation with your technology where it actually understands you.
That's the idea. And it's more intuitive, right? Instead of clicking through menus and buttons, you can just tell your AI agent what you want to do, and it figures out the best way to make it happen.
So no more clunky interfaces.
Hopefully not. Accenture even mentions companies like Cognitos that are already using AI-powered automation for business processes. So agentic systems are already being put to work in the real world.
That's impressive. But it makes you wonder, how do we manage millions of these autonomous agents operating in a digital ecosystem? I mean, how do we make sure they stay on track? And what does it mean for job roles in this new landscape?
That's a really good question. It's like we're entering this uncharted territory in the world of technology. Companies need to adapt quickly to harness the power of these agentic systems effectively.
Definitely. It's like the Wild West of AI with so much potential, but also a lot of unknowns.
Exactly. And that leads us to our next point. We're going to switch gears and look at how AI is impacting specific industries. Both CB Insights and Deloitte have some pretty fascinating insights here.
I'm ready to see how AI is tackling real-world challenges.
Me too. And you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, it really is amazing to see where this is all heading. But amidst all this talk of AI taking over, it's important to remember the human element.
Totally. AI isn't replacing us. It's about working together, making us better at what we do.
Right. AI is a tool to enhance our own abilities.
Exactly. And the data actually backs that up. The World Economic Forum found that 70% of companies worldwide believe analytical thinking will be an essential skill for employees by 2025.
That makes sense. So we're not becoming obsolete. We just need to adapt and learn how to work alongside these AI systems.
Exactly. And Deloitte's report actually dives into some of the fastest growing skill sets. We're talking AI and big data networks and cybersecurity and, of course, just a general understanding of technology.
Makes sense. Those all seem pretty crucial in an AI-driven world.
Right. They're all about complementing AI, allowing humans to work effectively alongside these powerful systems.
So for all those listeners out there wondering what this means for them, it's simple. Never stop learning.
Yeah, invest in those uniquely human skills that'll help you thrive in this AI-powered world.
Like what?
Critical thinking, creativity, problem solving, those are the skills that will set you apart.
Got it. So basically, be adaptable and keep learning new things.
Exactly. The ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn will be key as AI keeps evolving. And AI itself can actually be a powerful tool in this process.
Oh, really? How so?
Think about it. AI can give you access to information, create personalized learning experiences, even act as a sort of coach or mentor.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So AI can actually help us learn and adapt.
Right. It's not just about replacing us, it's about augmenting our abilities. The reports even have some awesome examples of how AI can enhance what we can already do.
Like what?
Well, think about doctors. They can use AI to analyze medical images, helping them diagnose diseases faster and more accurately.
That's amazing.
And
So it's like having a second opinion, but from a supercomputer.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And then you have engineers using AI simulations to optimize designs, creating more efficient and sustainable buildings and infrastructure.
Wow, so it's not just limited to one field.
Yeah.
AI is making an impact across the board.
Right. And even electricians can use AI-powered tools to troubleshoot complex electrical systems.
It seems like AI is touching every industry in some way.
It really is. But at the end of the day, it's important to remember that AI is a tool. A powerful tool for sure, but it's up to us humans to use it responsibly and ethically.
Right. We need to make sure it's being used for good and not for harm.
Exactly. Which brings up an interesting question. Are there any potential downsides to all this AI advancement that we should be aware of?
Well, of course. Like with any transformative technology, there are risks and challenges. Cybersecurity, for example.
Yeah, that makes sense. AI systems could be vulnerable to attacks just like any other computer system.
Exactly. And the Capgemini report actually dives into how generative AI could create brand new cybersecurity threats.
Oh, wow. So AI is a double-edged sword. It can be used to defend against cyber attacks, but also to launch them.
Exactly. It's a constant arms race with AI playing a crucial role on both sides.
So how do we stay ahead of the curve?
Well, businesses and governments need to invest in strong cybersecurity measures that leverage the power of AI for defense.
Right. So using AI to fight AI makes sense.
And another concern is job displacement. As AI takes over certain tasks, will there still be enough jobs for everyone?
That's a valid concern for sure. But the World Economic Forum report emphasizes that AI is also creating new jobs, many that we can't even imagine yet.
Interesting. So it's not just about job losses, it's also about job creation.
Exactly. It's more of a shift in the job market rather than a complete elimination of jobs. And that's why things like upskilling and reskilling initiatives are so important.
So instead of fearing AI as this job-stealing monster, we should embrace it as an opportunity to learn new skills and adapt to the changing demands of the workforce.
Exactly. We need to be proactive and prepare ourselves for the future of work.
And what about the ethical implications of AI? The World Economic Forum also talks about the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion in this AI-powered future.
Oh, absolutely. They found that companies are investing more and more in DEI initiatives, recognizing the need for diverse perspectives when shaping how AI is developed and used.
That's really important. We need to make sure these AI systems are fair and unbiased and beneficial for everyone, not just a select few.
Absolutely. It's about creating a more just and equitable world where AI doesn't worsen existing inequalities.
Right. It's about using AI to level the playing field, not create new divisions.
Exactly. But let's shift gears for a moment and look at some other emerging technologies developing alongside AI. Deloitte's report highlights how hardware is becoming increasingly important in this AI-driven world.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's not just about the software anymore. It's also about the physical infrastructure.
Right. As AI systems get more complex, we need specialized hardware to support them. The report mentions things like AI-embedded PCs and edge devices, bringing AI processing power closer to where the data is generated.
So instead of relying on massive data centers, AI can be processed locally on these smaller devices.
Yeah. Exactly. Which means faster processing speeds, more opportunities to use AI offline for things like image generation or text analysis, and even better data privacy since the data doesn't have to be sent to a central server.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But wouldn't managing all these devices be a challenge for businesses?
Yeah, for sure. The report talks about that too. Like, should companies build their own AI hardware or buy it from a vendor? And there's also the issue of the growing demand for AI chips, which are in high demand right now.
So it sounds like there could be a bottleneck in the development of AI. If we don't have enough hardware to support it, it could slow down progress.
That's a valid point. And then there's the environmental impact to consider.
Yes. All this AI-powered hardware must require a lot of energy.
It does. Deloitte actually highlights the energy demands of data centers and the need for more sustainable solutions.
So what are some of the solutions being explored?
Well, they mention advancements in renewable energy sources, as well as innovations in cooling technologies and energy-efficient hardware designs.
So it's about finding ways to power this AI revolution without harming the planet.
Exactly. We need to balance technological advancement with environmental responsibility. The future of AI has to be sustainable if it's going to benefit humanity in the long run.
I agree. Sustainability should be a top priority. And speaking of sustainability, CB Insights report dives into the world of nuclear energy, specifically small modular reactors, or SMRs.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about those. Aren't they supposed to be safer and more efficient than traditional nuclear reactors?
That's the idea. And the report highlights the significant role that AI and digital technologies are playing in developing and deploying these reactors.
Interesting. So AI is being used to make nuclear energy safer and more efficient.
Exactly. They talk about using digital twin technology, AI-driven simulations, and advanced project management tools to speed up the adoption of SMRs.
That's awesome. It's like AI is helping to pave the way for a cleaner energy future.
Right. And it shows how different technologies can work together to solve some of the biggest challenges we face.
Absolutely. It's all about innovation and collaboration. What's really cool is that these advancements aren't limited to just one or two industries. They're happening across the board, from healthcare and finance to energy and aerospace.
It's like we're witnessing a technological renaissance, and AI is at the heart of it all.
I agree. It feels like we're on the cusp of a new era with AI transforming everything from the way we work to the way we live. But with all this focus on AI's capabilities, one thing that keeps coming up in these reports is the idea of AI agents taking center stage. It's like they're the next big thing in the AI world. Both CB Insights and Capgemini really dive into this idea.
Yeah, they go way beyond those simple chatbots we see everywhere now.
Right. These AI agents are powered by those large language models we talked about, so they can actually operate on their own, handle complex tasks, make decisions, even interact with other AI agents to achieve certain goals.
It's like they're little digital workers running around in the background.
Exactly. Capgemini even predicts that by 2025, more than half of all organizations will be using AI agents in some way.
Wow, that's a pretty bold prediction.
Sure.
So are we talking customer service financial transactions, even managing entire supply chains?
All of that and more. CB Insights even mentions the rise of AI agent marketplaces, where businesses can basically shop for and deploy these agents for specific tasks.
So it's like an app store, but for AI.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But it also makes you think about the whole issue of control and responsibility. How do we make sure these AI agents are acting ethically, making decisions that align with human values?
Right, because if they're operating autonomously, how do we make sure they don't go rogue?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how do we prevent any unintended consequences as they become more integrated into our systems?
It's like we're entering this uncharted territory with AI. We need to figure out the rules of the game before things get out of hand.
Absolutely. We need clear frameworks for AI governance.
Yeah.
Transparency, accountability, alignment with human values, all that good stuff.
You can't just sit back and let AI develop unchecked. We need to be proactive in shaping its development and deployment.
Couldn't agree more. It's a complex challenge, but one we definitely need to tackle head on.
Well, after diving deep into these three reports, one thing is crystal clear. AI is shaping the future in some pretty mind-blowing ways.
Yeah, it's impacting everything. Transforming industries, reshaping the job market, even challenging how we see what's possible.
It's a whole new world out there. But it's important to remember that the future of AI isn't set in stone.
We still have a say in how it unfolds.
Exactly. It's up to us to guide its development, make sure it benefits all of humanity, not just a select few.
So what can we do?
Well, think about the role AI is playing in your life right now and how it might change in the future. What excites you? What concerns you? How can you be a part of shaping this AI-powered world?
It's about staying informed, engaging with these issues, and making sure our voices are heard.
The future is unfolding right before us, and we all have a role to play in shaping it.
The key is to stay curious, stay engaged, and embrace the power of human ingenuity to guide AI towards a brighter future.
I said it better myself. Well, that's it for our deep dive this week. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of the incredible world of AI. Until next time, stay curious.